àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú
ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Apologies to my friends who don't really speak Yoruba, but I believe you enjoyed the beat. Many of you have told me that. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and then wherever time you are watching this video from, welcome to Maiyegun's Diary, Political, tonight. Yes, there is a lot going on, and as usual, we love to catch up. We love to catch up because we know that whenever this terrorist government in Nigeria, led by Chief Imam Buhari, the lifeless, breathing mannequin inside the asshole rock. They have brought shame. They have brought disrepute. They have brought total destruction to millions of people. And they are not quitting. That is why we will not quit, even if they don't like what we are doing. We will continue until more people who are going to become victims of the greedy criminals in charge of Nigeria. You have heard about CAMA. Many of you are waiting for CAMA to catch up with Buhari and his gang. But Buhari is now the one that is sending CAMA to all of you. And that is why we will not stop. We will continue to speak up. This time around, as part of the CAMA that is about to catch up with some of our dear brothers and sisters, the Buhari Danes and the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Uneka Haris, the Ungozi Haris, the Uzo Haris. I just found out that we've got some Uzos too who are Haris. The obedient fools, the humbled slaves, and the sophisticated morons. The Facebook bandits. The social media artsmen. The premium Buhari Danes and the premium Buhari Diderins living abroad. The Mumumadus. The Bele lecturers. The Mumu lecturers. The Buhari idiots. And everyone suffering from Buhari titis from all over the world, home and abroad. The consequence, the karma, is not just what Buhari is doing to you now. It is what they are planning to still do. You will lose it all. Like play. You will try to adjust. You will try to defend. Like play. You will continue to get trapped in. And as much as you get trapped in, they say if you find yourself in a hole, you must stop digging. Nigerians, you are in a hole. You need to stop digging, or else you will find yourselves in the bottomless hole. Those who understand should tell those who don't. CAMA is here. Buhari just signed it. And I will tell you about it. Churches will scream. So many other people will scream. They will cry. They will seek help. Today they are against protest. They are against revolution now. They are against the Biafra struggle. Some of them are also gaining strength gradually to rise against anyone who tried to stop them from winning 2023 election. Tell them, CAMA is here and it is coming for everybody. Whether you voted for Buhari, whether you didn't vote for Buhari, whether you are defending Buhari, whether you hated Buhari, this is the time that something will bring all of you together. It is called CAMA. CAMA. Spelled as CAMA. Company and Allied Matters Act. CAMA. I will be back. Let me go for a bit of a drink because this is going to be a bit of a longer night. Get ready. I will be back.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Thank you, my dear brother. Iskill Omogbolawan. God bless you. Yes, CAMA is here. If you are opportuned to be watching me tonight, do me one favor. Whether it is on Facebook, on YouTube, do me one favor. Share this video. You will be saving a life among those that will be, that will get working on this CAMA that is about to consume everybody. Those of you where they feel like say it no concern you, it will concern you soon if you understand what is called CAMA. This is what Buhari's team put together in order to take over. They started with Ruga. They said, leave. They said, your life or your land. That is working so well in some part of the north. It is working so well in some part of the south, where those who are ready to collaborate with them to milk, steal, kill, and do whatever they can as much as possible to take over from you. Now, this time around, even though they are setting up different laws, different rules, different pickpocket laws to steal from you, they started with the VAT increase. From 3%, they increased it to 5%. From 5%, they have increased it to 7.5%. They also, they've gone as far as increasing the stamp duty, putting stamp duty on your rent. And they are telling you that it shouldn't cost house rent increase, but it will cost house increase. You know that. They told you that they were paying too much for subsidy. Therefore, they needed to stop subsidy. So they increased the fuel price from 85 naira to 145 naira. Then they continued to pay subsidy. The country continued to get, continue to bleed. As if that is not enough. All right. They came back again to say, well, we have actually removed the subsidy. Today, they haven't told you how much you'll be buying the fuel, but many of you are already buying it for 150 naira. They are unable to pay minimum wage, but here we are. They are now coming for everything you own. For some of you who thought you are safe, for some of you who were doing eye service. Now, this time around, because of the type of people they have targeted people. They are targeting the South. They are targeting businesses. They are targeting NGOs. They are targeting civil liberty organizations. They are targeting churches. They are targeting different other organizations that must have trustees or people who are controlling it. So this is them now coming for everything you have. If you understand, they are hiding it behind easy way of doing business. What is business of Buhari? What is business of APC? With who is a trustee in a company? What is their business with that? But it is more than that. They are putting the act together to begin to tax you. They will tax you until you violate the law. They will then use that same law. There is not even a law. It's not an act of the parliament. It is an act put together by this criminal, Buhari. Now, if you violate it, right, the government will take over your company. The government will then appoint, what they did with the banks. They will appoint the board for you. They will send you away completely. So they will appoint new board, people they want. And when you look at those, they are going to be paying the tax. I will read all of that to you now. There is this newspaper report. That's why I picked that. It's called the News Wire NGR. This report is written by David Udein. If you follow him on Twitter,
His handle is, I think, is at David underscore Udain. But search for him on Twitter. He's a very good guy. You actually follow him. Probably you didn't know that. But his material is going to be useful tonight to educate you on what is CAMA, what is their plan, what are they coming for. It will shock you to know that the company that will be collecting the tax and the fine and all of that on all companies in Nigeria this time around under this bill, under this act, is actually owned by some Yoruba boys in Lagos. You go here, Wayne, relax. If you haven't shared the video, please do now. I mean, tag everyone that needs to be tagged, okay? It's going to be a bit of a busy night for us tonight. So I'm going to share my juice here. So for some of you, get your tea, get everything you need to get on. We will start soon. So, violations is called, it's titled Violation inside the hidden horrors of CAMA 2020 bill. What is CAMA? Now, this is how David started this report, right? He said estimated reading time is going to be 7 minutes, but it's going to be more than that for us tonight. And I'll be as quick as possible. Read with me for those of you who don't like reading or who just love to comment. Now, listen, this is how David started. Imagine you woke up from a bad dream yesterday, only to find out that you are in another bad dream today. Then you wake up from it tomorrow, only to find yourself in another bad dream, which gives way to yet another nightmare, and so on in that manner, like an everlasting set of Russian doors. No matter how varied the subjects of the nightmares are, they are always end with the same conclusion. The Nigerian government want to take away all economic and civil rights by hook and crook. This is one way of describing what an examination of the recently ratified Companies and Allied Matter Act 2020 reads like. Here we go again. Over the past year, Newswire NGR, that is a Newswire Nigeria, has published at least 4 separate deep dives into new and proposed laws and regulations put forward under the Buhari administration that all pursue the same holy trinity of legislative and regulatory agenda, attacking freedom of speech and the civil space, abrogating property rights and economic prospects, and instituting regulators, offices and bodies that exist above the jurisdiction of the court system. This bill, which is supposed to be a harmless bill about ease of doing business, follows the exact same playbook, with the added bonus of now being the law following the President Muhammadu Buhari's signature on August 7. Over the course of its 870 sections spread out over 604 pages, the bill has at least 4 clauses containing these anti-democratic policies directions strategically hidden in plain sight. Among other things, it empowers the government to forcefully take over civil society organizations at will and appropriate their property. It also contains an unbelievable clause that expressly names a private business belonging to an APC, All Progressives Congress, APC member, effectively giving state backing to the revenue generating activity of a politically connected private entity. It then criminalizes freelancers alongside the entire Nigerian gray economy in an audacious regulatory power. Well, let me take that again. It then criminalizes freelancers along the entire Nigerian gray economic economy in an audacious regulatory power grab that opens the door to Nigerian citizens having their money seized from their bank accounts at the whim of the Nigerian state. Finally, it contains a clause that is as comically unconstitutional as it is brazenly anti-democratic, purportedly preventing any individual or organization from taking legal action against it unless it gives them permission to. This is the inside scoop on CAMA 2020, the Buhari administration's latest successful attempt to smuggle 1984 into 2020. Let me give you the summary of what I just read to you. This CAMA, this new law that Buhari just put together, will not only give them the power to generate revenue, which you will get to know in a moment, right? They will have power to generate revenue from companies, even though they have, Corporate Affairs Commission and few other agencies of government to collect revenue from companies in Nigeria, right? But this CAMA now give that power to an APC member, the company owned by an APC member, to generate that revenue. And if you fail to comply, they can confiscate your money in bank, they can take over your properties, and at the same time, this law says you cannot sue them unless they give you permission to go ahead and sue them. That is the scoop of the CAMA. Think about that. Someone can wake up tomorrow morning and tell you that you have violated CAMA. Therefore, your money in bank is gone, your properties and your businesses are gone, and you cannot sue them unless they tell you to go and sue them. Do you understand what I mean? Let me continue. There was a time they brought a bill called the NGO bill. But this is the background. They say it is a NGO bill in disguise. Okay? NGO bill in disguise. Now, in 2019, one of the bills that Newswire Nigeria delved into was the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Non-Governmental Organization Regulatory Commission for the supervision, coordination, and monitoring of non-governmental organizations. That was the bill, popularly known as the NGO bill. Originally introduced into the House of Representatives in 2016, it generated a huge uproar and was eventually put on ice when it became politically impossible to force it through. The provision of the bill that caused the loudest uproar was the proposed ability of the government to direct or even take over the activities of the NGOs and the civil society organization, the CSO. Without raising as much as a whimper, however, CAMA 2020 has got this very provision of the NGO bill passed into law. According to Section 839 of the bill, the Nigerian government now has the power to remove the management of any such organization and replace it with whoever it wants based on nothing more than what side of the bed it wakes up on. Do you understand that? That CAMA now gives them the power, okay, to take over NGOs now. That is hidden in that CAMA 2020. So if you listen to Bishop Oyedepo, currently complaining, this is why, okay? So this chapter 4, suspension of the trustee, appointment of interim manager, etc. Chapter 4, which is page 839, section 1. The commission, this is the power in that law, for those of you who may not know, okay? This is the power. The commission may, by order, suspend the trustees of an association and appoint an interim manager or managers to manage the affairs of an association where it reasonably believes that, hey, there is or has been any misconduct or mismanagement in the administration of the association. What the hell is that? B, it is necessary or desirable for the purpose of subsection 1, protecting the property of the association. What is business of Buhari with association's property? B, 2, securing a proper application for the property of the association towards achieving the objective of the association. The purpose of the association of that property, or what is this? The purpose or the purposes of the association of that property, or of the property coming to the whatever is that. Now, what they are saying is that you may have your organization right now. You may have your aims and objectives. Now, they can come in and tell you if you violate those aims and objectives. Now, they can tell you what your aims and objectives must be from now on. You will just see the government at your secretariat, your NGO, your CSO, everywhere that you are supposed to be civil liberty organizations, like free people. They will then come and say, oh, because you say something about Buhari, you are very wrong. You have violated your aims and objectives. Because of that, we are suspending all of you, your trustee and everything. We are going to appoint people that are going to begin to do what your organization should be doing. What the hell? That is just that. Now, let's continue. As you can see, I want you to go on to Newswire, NGR. You will see the details of all the cropped out part of this law. Now, here is where they have the legislative chronism hiding in plain sight. This is another part of it. Okay? This is another part of it. Section 704 looks like a boring, bog standard section about company law and the process of liquidation and insolvency practice. A closer look, however, reveals something very unusual that meets all the criteria for what can be described as corruption. Now, here is that section highlighted here, and it reads, let me start from the 705. 1. A person is only qualified to act as an insolvency practitioner where he, A, has obtained a degree in law, accountancy, or such other relevant discipline from any recognized university or polytechnic. B, has a minimum of 5 years post-qualification experience in matters relating to insolvency. C, is authorized to so act by virtue of a certificate of membership issued by Business Recovery Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria, BRIPAN, whatever is that, BRIPAN, or is membership of any other professional body recognized by the commission, being permitted to act by or under the rules of that body. Now, here is what that means. A Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria is expressly named as the preferred government-recognized body, which insolvency practitioners must be registered with in order to practice. Now, here is this again. Let me take it on again. You see that section in that part says, before you can be described as an insolvency practitioner in Nigeria, the insolvency practitioner are those who are in charge, those lawyers who are in charge, or liquidators, those who value your property and so on and so forth, right? If you want to liquidate your business and all of that. But however, there is a hidden clause in that section of the law. That clause says you must be authorized by and then you must be issued a certificate by an authorized body And the only authorized body to issue you that certificate in Nigeria, the insolvency practitioner certificate in Nigeria, the business name to do that is called Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria, an association. Government is giving the role of government agency to an association that they now legalized to issue insolvency practitioners certificate to you before you can be recognized as someone who can practice that in Nigeria. Now, when they trace that, the Business Recovery and Insolvency Practice is named as the preferred government and recognized body, right? But the problem with this is that BRIPAN is not, in fact, a government-recognized professional body like the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN. For those of you who know the rules of ICAN, in the process of liquidating business and all of that, those who certify anybody who is an insolvency practitioner in Nigeria has to be from reputable organization, reputable and registered, professional body like the ICAN, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, which was established, right? Which was established Act of Parliament number 15 of 1965, right? ICAN is legally established. There is an Act of Parliament that established ICAN in Nigeria to issue certificates for those who qualified in different categories of different, enterprise, yeah? But Buhari's government ignored ICAN and they gave BRIPAN, a private business, a private company, the authorization to act on behalf of government for all the companies in Nigeria. And this BRIPAN, it turns out, is a private company limited by Guaranteed, registered in 1994 as a non-profit organization. So this is about BRIPAN. Who are those behind BRIPAN? It also carries out revenue generation activities, including sale of membership forms and organizing membership training and fellow workshops for 90,000 naira and 350,000 naira respectively. It is a non-profit organization. Are you with me? If you join them, that's what they do. But what this means is that someone somehow got their private revenue generation activities written into law and effectively mandated as a precondition for insolvency practice in Nigeria, as though their private company were a government-affiliated institution, a peek behind the veil to see who this super connected individual behind BRIPAN is, revealed this. These are the people behind BRIPAN, whatever they call. Let's see. BRIPAN. All right. These are the people behind BRIPAN. If it's so, I don't know if it's big enough on your screen, but yes, if you can see it, those are the people behind the BRIPAN. The names of those, it is registered somewhere in Campus Street, number 5, Campus Street, Lagos. And the owners, according to what we have here, it says they were registered as Insolvency Practice Association of Nigeria Limited and as a private unlimited company. And then the owners and directors and key management personnel of the company are Abiodun, what states? I'll come back to that. Abiodun, let's see, Leah Yono. Abiodun Leah Yono. I'll come to that. But I've got another one, which is Oyesoji Oyeleke, Mr. And the third person, these two are the directors. And the third person, as the owner of the company, is Joseph Okudiafor. Mr. is also a director. So additional info, they've got their branch office in Abuja and so on. Now, here is the face of the people behind Bripan, the new revenue generating company, private company for the insolvency practice in Nigeria, the Bripan. Once a member, the owner now, yeah, and his name, yes, once a member of President Olusegun Obasanjo's Vision 2020 Steering Committee, Abiodun, yeah, that's his name now. I've got his name. Good. So his name is Abiodun Ismail Saka Layonu. Is a special advocate of Nigeria, SAN, with over 38 years of experience as a lawyer. He also sits on the board of Stabilini Visionini, a civil engineering company, and Biocotton Limited, the embattled concessionaire of MM2 Muritala Muhammad Airport and the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. So they have always been behind how to loot and swindle Nigerians. They've been in the business for a long time. When Obasanjo was in government, the same young man who managed to pull this off right now with Buhari was also very much in government. He was making a lot of money for himself at the time by all those concessionaire fraud. Lagos Ibadan Expressway by Courtney, you know the story. Lagos Muritala Muhammad local airport, you know the story. Is the same guy who is now behind Bripan that is going to begin to collect, and if you don't pay, they will take over your company, sell them as scraps to themselves, and they continue non-stop. So he also sees, okay, I've read that, Layonu is a card-carrying member of the ruling party, All Progressive Congress, APC, and he took part in the 2018 Osun State gubernatorial election alongside eventual winner Gboyega Oyetola. This is the man behind Bripan. Abiodun Ishola Ismail Layonu. This is the guy. One sec. Yeah, this is the guy behind Bripan, the one that we issue you insolvency practitioner certificate from now on because of CAMA. Is the one who is also going to be in charge of if you fail to, or if you violate the new CAMA law, is the one who is going to be in charge of how to sell off your properties as scraps to themselves from now on, as it has become the law. That is the guy, a former governorship candidate of APC in Osun State. You see why? It's been a business for them. This is what they do. This is what they do. Criminals offering to save the country, but in the background, they are taking advantage of all of you. If you say Showore is wrong, if you say Nnamdi Kanu is wrong, and you are shouting one Nigeria, the real criminals of Nigeria, they are busy. How did he do it? How did he make it law? That they change the law and they put his company as the one in charge that will be issuing you government certificates to be able to practice your job, the one you have been doing for years, Abi. Una go learn. Now let's go on. In other words, CAMA 2020 has taken the private business of a ruling party member and written it into law, effectively forcing anybody who wishes to become an insolvency practitioner in Nigeria to pay money to said party members, non-profit organization. Do you understand that? Yes, you will pay to him. If you are an insolvency practitioner in Nigeria, you will join revolution. Nobody will tell you. You will join, at least for this reason. When you are about to lose your life, lose what you existed for. Yes, you either comply or you find a new job. That is what they are coming for. Not just that. Now, let's go on. Criminalizing the informal sector. 21 million Nigerians are now criminals. This is where it gets interesting. For some of you who are like, well, I'm not an insolvency practitioner. It's none of my business. Well, you have a business, Abi, and you have it in Nigeria. Okay, this is your own take. 21 million of you are going to become criminals if you fail to comply with CAMA 2020. This is how it affects you. Now, listen. According to the Bank of Industry, Nigeria's informal sector contributes up to 65% of the country's GDP. That is a gross domestic product. This sector in general, is generally made up of rural small-scale farmers, urban small-scale retailers, artisans, and freelancers. The idea of a Nigerian government in its current situation attempting to criminalize 65% of the country's economy with a stroke of a legislative pen would ordinarily be seen as somewhere between horrifying and hilarious, because it is both profoundly unwise and utterly unenforceable. Yet, this is precisely what CAMA 2020 does with this clause in section 863. Here is section 863. I'll read it out. A person or association of persons shall not carry on business in Nigeria as a company, limited liability partnership, limited partnership, or under a business name without being registered under this act. Listen to that very carefully. There is a Company Allied Act, a Company Allied Company and Allied Matters Act before CAMA, which says you have to register your business with the Corporate Affairs Commissions in Nigeria. So now that you have registered your business with a Corporate Affairs Commission or register your organization with Corporate Affairs Commission, you have to still go and write with BRIPAN. Are you with me? Under this act, you will need to re-register your business again. Now, this is what will happen if you don't do that. If an individual, corporation, or association of persons required under this act to be registered carries on business without registration or under a name, registration of which has been refused or cancelled under this act, the individual, corporation, or every partner in the firm commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine prescribed in the Commission's regulations from time to time of 200 naira, it says, for every day during which the default continues, and the court shall order a statement of the required particulars for the registration of the business to be furnished to the commission for registration within such time as may be specified in order. Do you see how long they, it's a non-stop. There's no full stop. There's no comma. Read it on your screen. They decided to just copulate it and confuse you. What they are saying is that they will be collecting 200 naira every day from your small business there if you don't register them now, until you register it, okay, under this act. Be prepared. As terrible as the idea of introducing potentially unenforceable legislation is, the real trouble perhaps exists because of how unenforceable it is. Specific figures from Nigeria are unavailable, but sub-Saharan estimates put the informal sector's share of people in employment at anything from 72% to 90%. If we conservatively extrapolate that 72% of working Nigerians are informally employed, and we conservatively estimate that half, which is 36%, are the sole proprietors and partners described in this clause. This means that at least 36% of Nigerians, 58.537 million people currently in any kind of employment, which is 21 million Nigerians, are now apparently committing a crime by running a private business or income generating activity outside of the government's control. Do you understand that? From now on, any business you are doing, and you have not received the CAMA certificate that says government knows about it, whether you are NGO and you are getting money, or you are doing any small business at all and you are making money, whether you are making video online, all of you doing skits, all of you on Instagram doing your skit, making money, doing side hustle, abi, now you will need CAMA certificate, or else you are committing a crime because you are earning money or doing business outside government control. That is now a crime. Be prepared. They are coming. In that bracket, they have managed to, to estimate at least 21 million of you that will be caught up by CAMA. The ugly danger inherent in this wide criminalization of the very backbone of Nigeria's economy can be inferred from the specific line of the clause underlined below, a fine prescribed in the Commission's regulations from time to time. You see, they decided to put 200 naira there, but they also put a clause that says the fine will come and it will be prescribed or proscribed, whatever is there, it will be prescribed in the Commission's regulation from time to time. In another 1 year, that 200 naira may become 2 million naira. You know what they do? The intention is to kill you, kill your business. You have no idea. Now, in other words, the government is now legally empowered to impose any fine at all. I mean, any fine at all, it wants on at least 21 million Nigerians at any point in time. Social media, this is where David Udein, it really delved deeper into how it affects you now. So, social media content creators, freelance programmers and writers, itinerant musicians, roadside hawkers, nobody is spared. By classifying all unregistered economic activity as illegal, the door has also been opened to arbitrarily garnishing or appropriation of private bank accounts of any individuals criminalized by this law using their readily accessible bank verification number, your BVN information. Yes, they cannot take my money. They should come and collect it now. They should come and collect the tax from me now. Maybe Buhari will just come and collect the money from me. Shebi, you have bank account. You have BVN. Abi, don't worry. Ignore it. This is where they get you. You get a Facebook account. You have a Twitter account. You are a social media influencer. You are making video up and down. You are making your small money because Nigeria no send you. Now, you think because you can ignore them and say, well, I know Kuku get, they should come and arrest me now. Maybe now them buy me camera. Don't worry. Shebi, you get bank account. You have BVN. Your bank will alert you how much they have deducted from your bank. So as you are making that content money and you refuse to go and register your business with this new act, CAMA 2020, CAMA is going to catch up with everybody. Now time, it don't come. Now, here we go again. Just a moment. Here we go again. The CAC is now above the law, literally, as CAC, which is the Corporate Affairs Commission. Finally, and most concerningly, the new law contains a clause that was also observed in the social media bill, A-Speech bill, NCDC bill, and the recent 6th NBC Code amendment. A clause to place a Nigerian government organization outside or above the constitutionally mandated jurisdiction of the Nigerian court system. In the case of the social media and hate speech bill, the legislation was to the effect that legal action cannot be brought against the relevant ministry, but rather an unelected bureaucrat at the ministry who has no legal jurisdiction to hear legal appeals will make all the final decisions. That is on hate speech and the other bills there. But the CAMA 2020 iteration of this unconstitutional clause is less in your face, but no less obnoxious. The section 17 of that, subsection 1, a suit shall not be commenced against the commission before the expiration of 30 days after a written notice of intention to commence the suit is served upon the commission by the intending plaintiff or his agent. 2. The notice referred to in subsection 1 shall clearly state the A, cause of action, B, particulars of the claim, C, name and place of abode of intending plaintiff, and D, relief sought. According to the clause, the jurisdiction of the Nigerian court system to hear a legal complaint is somehow subjugated to the CAC's unilateral directive to allow it 30 days to prepare for a lawsuit before it is filed. In other words, if any individual or organization is affected by any of the aforementioned clauses, their constitutional right to immediately seek legal redress is somehow suspended, and they must notify the CAC in writing of their intention to sue, their name, their home address, and their desired relief, and then wait 30 days, presumably for the CAC to pay them a nice home visit to share tea and cookies before that court case will start. However, there is more. Please go on to the newswire ngr.com and read a lot and many other discoveries in the course of using the instrument of fake instrument of the law to abrogate to themselves the power to take over your organization. When we say NGO, Nigerian churches are considered as NGOs, non-profit organizations. Therefore, they can come for any pastor that says anything about the government, because it will be you violating the CAMA rule. And they will use every other trick in the book to make sure that they take over your business, take over your church, take over anything they can take over, and shut you down. They will appoint people that will be in charge of your organization, and on and on and on and on. And those who say it no concern them, very soon alarm go blow. Let's go to Ibadan quickly before we go. We've got just about 7 minutes to go today, but I am going to quickly touch the escaped serial killer in Ibadan. So good enough. A very good senior brother of this platform, a very dedicated partner of this platform, the Root Radio director, Mr. Charles Okolawon, managed to pull a call through to the Commissioner of Police of Oyo State to ask him what went wrong. A serial killer was arrested because he killed many people in Ibadan, Oyo State. Then the news broke that he was arrested, he was taken to court, and he was meant to stand trial, possibly get punished for his crime. But somehow, he managed to escape from the police custody. And this prompted the director of Roots Radio, Washington, D.C. in America, to put a call through to the Commissioner of Police and ask him his own side of the story. And when the interview was conducted, a clip has been sent to Maiyegun's diary, Politico Today. And I will play a bit of that just to your hearings today. And after this, I will find a time to really delve more into, and then I'll play you the full interview with the Commissioner of Police of Oyo State. You haven't got this from anywhere. It is on Maiyegun's diary tonight. So I will play this for another 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of the interview, it is half an hour long. So we actually have to, have a program on it where you will get to know what the Commissioner of Police says. Commissioner of Police of Oyo State, what he said, what he actually said about the current serial killer on the loose, because immediately he escaped from the police custody, he went on to kill another person, and he's currently on the loose, and the police has this to say. So I'll play this audio while you listen out there tonight. The credit goes to...
Hello, my Honorable Commissioner of Police. My name is Charles Okonlawon. I'm calling from United States in Washington, D.C. And we just want to give our people an update on the latest development from Akinyele. From our understanding, it appears that the arrested individual got loose and committed another murderous crime. So we want you to give our people assurance that your department is working on it, and what efforts are you making to make sure that we don't have a repeat occurrence of what happened? And more so, if you can allow us an insight into what went wrong. How did this individual get away from your custody? Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you so much for that question. As a matter of fact, the man in question, the suspect who escaped, would have been out of either a deliberate act or carelessness of the inspector of police. We cannot make all the efforts we made to arrest him, did his investigations, and arraigned him before the court that gave an order that he should be remanded in prison custody, or prison or police custody. Now, the prison, what we call correctional centers now, and because of COVID, they are so congested that that responsibility sometimes falls back to the police. That was why and how the man had to come back to police detention. Having said that, the policeman was highly unprofessional. Whether it is an error or it was deliberate, it is his own personal liability. It is unfortunate too that the thing is falling back, having a backlash on the police as an institution. As far as the system is concerned, that man will surely carry his cross. We have already deported him, we have detained him, and as we speak, he has faced disciplinary action. And until we get to the end of the road, we will now know what to do with him. That is just the truth of the matter.
Okay.
And I want to assure you and the people of Oyo State in particular, and Nigeria in general, that the police has an integrity to maintain. We know that in the eyes of the public, some are not really impressed by what we are doing. But we are doing our level best to provide adequate security for the lives, of the people, and provide conducive and safe environments for people to do their lawful activities. And that, in every 12, there's usually a Judas. You can't rule out that. There's always a mole, or what you call columnist. It happens. It is not as if it is a proper thing or it's a standard thing. So in such, you don't rule out such things coming up. And as time goes on, we'll find out whether there is any conspiracy whatsoever between him and a person or group of persons to do what he did. Or it is just mere carelessness or accident.
Okay.
That is just the position.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate your response, sir. The two areas that I want you to clarify for me, if possible, is you indicated in your response that this individual did not escape under your supervision. I'm talking, when I say your, I'm referring to the police department. Am I right to assume that your conclusion was that he was kept in another facility away from your supervision when he escaped from back into the society? Is that right to assume?
Well, the facilities are all under the same police system. It is just that, like the people that are arraigned in court are the state CID, which is the homicide section. And because they will not want congestion in the cell of the CID, to avoid a situation where people will just get collapse and in the process dies, they now try to decongest the cell. It is a thing that has been the normal thing. It has been the normal practice. So we cannot say that there is a collusion or an underlying reason for them to move him out from the CID cell to where he has been taken.
Okay.
And that place he has been taken is a highly secured cell too. So if anything has gone wrong, it is the carelessness of that particular policeman.
Okay. All right. Having said that, being the overall boss of the police department in Oyo State, what steps have you taken to introduce and investigate, thorough investigation into what went wrong? Because I know there is a chain of command, and before it gets to your desk, some levels of authority must have been aware of this development. And who have you held accountable for these lapses? Because it's a poor reflection on the entire police department, whichever way you want to look at it. Somebody made a mistake somewhere, but the ball stops at your desk. If the IG of police will have to address anybody on this issue, he will have to call you first. So giving the mantle back to you, what efforts have you made? What concrete measures have you taken to that you can assure the people that we have the people that are supposed to be on duty when he escaped? What time did he escape? Why did it take the police department so long until this man commit another murder before you could alert the police? Because the information reaching us was the fact that the police they kept mute on this escape until he was alleged to have committed another murder. So if you can address all these areas, maybe we can assure our people that you're seriously working on it.
Well, the thing is that when it happened initially, the picture was not clear on who escaped. It was the next day that we came to realize, because the thing happened in the night, that we came to realize that he is the person that escaped. In order not to create apprehension, in the minds of the public, we went into action immediately by going to all the places he was used to going from the statement he made to us upon his arrest.
Okay.
So we wanted to do an undercover thing, which is a normal practice, to see if we could get him before the thing goes wide or goes viral. But be that as it may, unfortunately, we recorded another incident in that place,
which is very unfortunate.
Sorry,
I said which is very unfortunate. I'm just corroborating what you just said, which is rather very unfortunate. Okay.
Exactly. It's really unfortunate and sad that that incident happened.
Okay. Now,
and
I don't mean to interrupt you. Before you continue, let me quickly ask this before I forget. The setup in the lockdown situation in your department, do you have enough apparatus to monitor the custody of these accused individuals? I guess what I'm trying to say is, what facilities do you have in place? For instance, if there's supposed to be any case of escape in America today, there are levels of security that you have to scale. Unless you use some metaphysical power to escape, you have to get through certain levels of guarded posts with cameras and recording devices. And not only that, they do have a trail of movement of people from one facility to the other. Why was the detention facility so porous? Do you have enough resources? Because this may not be the end of the situation.
Well, that is part of the problems we are having in developing economies. present regime of the Inspector General of Police, Abubakar Adamu, has been doing their level best to improve the facilities that the police have. Like if you get to most police institutions, both at Abuja and Lagos and so on and so forth, you have closed circuit camera televisions. Is in use. And because of how wide the country is and the paucity of funds, it has not really circulated to the remotest police stations. I believe with partnership with some institutional investors and stakeholders, including the multinationals, I believe we'll get to that level. Even if we don't get to the level you have there in the United States.
Thank you very much. I'm going to stop it there. It's actually an half an hour interview. They delve into so many things, and for the sake of our my friends in Oyo State, so I just needed to give you the snippet there. That's our big brother, Mr. Charles Okonlawo of the Root Radio, Washington, D.C., that put that call through to the Commissioner of Police of your state. And I believe his name is Mr. Chuks Henwonwu, I believe. However, we'll have to run a full session on this so that we can go more into other things I've been told about the escaped serial killer in Ibadan Oyo State. Okay, so hopefully we'll also hear from the government. Hopefully, and I believe a lot is also being done on the ground to give us more on the development. Thank you so much to all of you who took your time to join me tonight. The credit of that reading still goes to the Newswire Nigeria. Go on to go on to Facebook. You will see them on there. And in fact, you can go on to the Google. Just search for it. The Newswire NGR is an investigative platform. And David Undain is a wonderful guy that you should probably look out for. If it comes to detailed, much like straight to the point, no sugarcoating or anything, reports when it concerns laws and every other regulatory scam that Buhari system are pulling over you. Before they finally come and chop your door, before they come and knock at your door, or even break your door, or even break your bank account, don't say no, it concern you. I just told you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. To all of you who took out time tonight, thank you very much for always. And to my friends on YouTube, thanks a lot. For those of you who are yet to follow me on YouTube, you are missing out. You should find out what others who are on YouTube are actually getting. It is detailed, reminding, and a very, very colorful picture of some of my videos. So if you haven't followed Maiyegun's Diary Political or subscribe to Maiyegun's Diary Political on YouTube, you are missing. Okay, do that now. And then click on that single bell on the side, which will be your own notification whenever Maiyegun is live. To all of you, my friends, all over the world, back in Nigeria, from here, I'll say good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.